Do you want to increase brand awareness, attract new patients immediately and consistently, and become the go-to practice in your community? Then learn how to do ground marketing. That's what I'm going to be teaching you in this series. Let's dive in. Ground marketing at schools. This is going to be a very in-depth, comprehensive episode for practices, okay? In the ground marketing course, I provide you with all the scripts for this, strategies to get into preschools, high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, even after school daycares and so forth like that. That's in the ground marketing course, but it's going to be in this episode as well. We're going to teach you how to approach, who to approach, value propositions, legal and ethical considerations, creating partnerships, ideas for recurring, continuing to go to these schools, your messaging framework and case studies and so forth. All that's going to be in this episode. I'm not going to tell you anything that's fluff. It's all real specific things, real specific scripts. So sit down and enjoy this episode. Definitely re-listen to it if you can, especially if you're interested in attracting new patients from schools, creating these partnership with schools, and ground marketing to schools. So engaging local schools is one of the most effective ground marketing strategies for practices. By fostering relationships with preschools, K-12 schools, and their communities, you can build trust, educate families, and attract new patients. So this episode provides detailed, actionable steps on how general, pediatric, and orthodontic practices can successfully market through schools in the United States. So specifically, this is going to be for the United States. I know we have listeners all over the world, and definitely try the strategies that are in here if you can. But if you feel like you cannot due to some specific laws, then I understand. Definitely enroll into the ground marketing course. There is more specific strategies that you can utilize. We're going to be covering how to approach school administrators, offer compelling value, navigate legal considerations, partner with PTAs, sustain ongoing programs, craft effective messages, and so much more. And we're also going to teach you how to track your return on investment, which is super essential. So let's dive in. Approaching school administrators. This is for preschools, elementary, middle, and high school. So first and foremost, do your homework first. Start by researching the schools around your practice. Use Google Maps or school district websites to compile a list of nearby preschools, elementary, middle, and high schools. Note which are public versus private, because this will affect your approach, okay? Organize your list so you can track contacts and responses. In the ground marketing course, that's where I dive much more into detail on how to approach public versus private. Due to time, right now we're going to be just concentrating on one. Now, the initial contact, lead with value. When reaching out by phone or email, introduce yourself and explain that you're a local dentist offering a free resource for their students. Emphasize you are not selling anything, but you want to provide value. For example, an interactive oral health presentation and goodie bags or free hygiene kits for the kids. Highlight how this can benefit the school, can provide healthier students, a fun educational activity. Do that instead of showing what's in it for you. So by leading with a community-minded offer, schools are much more likely to say yes. Remember, reciprocity. Always think of the other person first. Benefit them first, and it will come back to you. Then, next step, you want to identify the decision maker. This is going to be a key step you're going to realize to a lot of your ground marketing strategies, whether it's schools or not schools. You need to identify the decision maker. For preschools and daycares, the director or owner can usually approve a guest visitor. For elementary or middle schools, you might start with the principal or the school secretary to direct you. Many schools will involve the school nurse or health coordinator in deciding on health-related visits. When calling a public school, just ask politely, who would be the best person to speak with about a free dental health program for your students? This acknowledges you're not sure if it's the nurse, principal, or district official, but it helps. By the way, if you are tight, meaning you are cool, you're in good terms, you have a partnership with the district, it can bypass all of this because the district will call the shots and they will tell you which schools to go to. They'll let the principals know you're going and everything like that. So if you're cool with the district, definitely do that first. I recommend. In the ground marketing course, we show you exactly how to do that and get cool with the districts, right, in your community. But regardless of all that, if you're not cool with them or anything like that, tailor your approach by school level. Preschools and daycares. These often have more flexible schedules and a big focus on parent satisfaction. So offer a short, fun activity for little ones. like toothbrushing with Mr. Dinosaur Puppet Show, right? And be sure it involves parents if possible. If you can be there with the parents, that is the best. They're the decision makers. One effective tactic is to visit during pickup time, 3 to 6 p.m., so you can meet parents as well as children. For example, you might set up a small table at the daycare entrance or the school with coloring sheets, balloons, and free toothbrush kits. This delights the kids and gets parents' attention when they arrive. But the goal is to make a great impression on children and connect with mom or dad on the spot, since parents ultimately decide on dental appointments, right? First things first, make sure with preschools and daycares, be there when the parents are there. Elementary schools, approach the principal or assistant principal with an offer to support the curriculum during National Children's Dental Health Month, which is February, or any time health or science is being emphasized. You want to see if you can be there during a health or science fair, maybe propose a lively assembly, right? Or a class by class visit if you can on hygiene and healthy smiles. Make it fun. You can bring an oversized toothbrush and a puppet or a tooth costume. Remember, it's elementary. And emphasize that you will keep it educational and age appropriate. So no scary dentist tools that they consider dentist tools, right? Many elementary schools will welcome health professionals as guest speakers, especially if you tie into topics like nutrition or biology that teachers cover. Also mention you can bring enough free kits, toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, right, for each student. This removes any cost burden and appeals to the school's desire to give students goodies. Schools love it when you will give the students goodies, something to take home. They love that. Please keep that in mind. Do that. Now, middle schoolers can be a tougher audience, but they still benefit from oral health education. Offer to collaborate with the health teacher. Many states have health classes in 7th or 8th grade or the school nurse. A hands-on demonstration about the consequences of poor hygiene, like showing drink sugar amounts or plaque disclosure tablets, can be engaging. You might also address topics like braces and why oral hygiene is still crucial during ortho treatment. This works fantastic if you're an orthodontist, so definitely do that. And at this age, consider doing science fairs or the STEM angle. For example, an experiment on acid erosion of tooth enamel using eggshells and vinegar can integrate with science class. Position your visit as enriching their health science education, and administrators will see it as a win. They will love this, especially if it works well with science class. High schools. Now, reaching high schoolers requires a different tactic. They're nearly adults and might tune out generic brush your teeth talk. So instead, frame your involvement in ways that matter to teens and the school's existing programs. For example, with high schools, sports teams, contact the athletic director or coaches and offer free custom mouth guards or mouth guard fittings for contact sports teams. This is practical. It benefits the school. It protects their athletes and their students at no cost. And you can even do fittings at the school or sponsor a mouth guard day at your office, right? An orthodontic practice could especially pitch this since it also protects braces. So it'll be fantastic. Next thing is career days. High schools often hold career days or job fairs. So volunteer to speak about careers in dentistry. Bringing along a young assistant or hygienist from your team can make it relatable. At the same time, you're subtly marketing your practice. Health fairs and teen health. Some high schools have health fair events. You could host a booth on oral cancer screenings and general dental health and emphasize things relevant to teens. For example, you can discuss the dangers of vaping on oral health to tie into a hot topic and so forth, right? And then school district or board level. If you aim to work with multiple public schools, consider reaching out to the district's administration once you have a plan. Some decisions, especially for high schools, require district approval. If so, prepare a short proposal and request a meeting with the district's community partnership coordinator, or even present briefly at the school board meeting. Here's a success tip. When dealing with the school district, stress how your program aligns with their goal, attendance improvement, student wellness, things like that, and mention any proven results or references. All this about the school district or board level is found in the ground marketing course if you are interested. So please, it's going to be in the first link in the show notes below if you want to enroll. And then finally, you want to be patient and professional, right? Not every school will agree immediately. If you get a no, don't be discouraged. It's possible another office is already doing something similar on that campus. So always remain courteous and thank them for their time. You can ask if they have any current or health initiatives too. This can give insight into what they value or what another practice is doing. And in some cases, they might refer you to the person in charge of an existing program, giving you a chance to get involved or at least note that school off your list and focus somewhere else. Always remember that a no, it's feedback, right? Try and get as much feedback as you can. And then now you can hyper focus on something else, or you can continue to focus on that later on down the road. Flexibility. Here's a question I get quite often from schools: booth or no booth? So unlike community fairs, schools might not allow a marketing booth on campus during regular days. They don't want overt advertising or they don't want any disruptions. So as one pediatric marketing expert notes, schools are fast-paced environments where a typical booth might not get attention. However, always ask politely if there are opportunities to participate in specific school events, like a wellness fair, PTA carnival, or back to school night. If you can't set up a table on campus during class hours, then you want to suggest alternatives. Here are 3 alternatives: morning drop-off or afternoon pickup. With permission, you or your team could greet parents in the car line or parking lot, handing out free toothbrush kits, flyers as parents drop off or collect their children. For safety, coordinate with school staff so it's orderly. Note that at many schools, parents don't exit the car at pickup. So you might station a team member at the sidewalk where kids board vehicles, offering a quick smile and handing a bag to each student. Then say, give this to your parents attached as a note, right? And so forth. So that's 1, morning drop-off, afternoon pickup. 2, after-school programs. Some elementary schools have aftercare programs or clubs. A short presentation could be done there with the program coordinator's approval. The setting is smaller and it's more informal. I prefer those. I like those a lot, especially when the parents are there to pick them up. 3rd, school health or science night. If the school hosts an annual health night or science expo, ask to be included. Simple as that. That's it. These are great times to have a mini booth with an interactive activity. And then you want to document and follow up, right? Keep a spreadsheet of which schools you contacted, who you spoke with, and the outcome. Are they interested? Maybe right now they're not that interested. Maybe I got to call back later. But this helps ensure no lead slips through the cracks. For any contact who showed interest, send a thank you email summarizing what you discussed and confirming any next steps. Now, the value proposition for teachers, parents, and students. To get buy-in from schools, your outreach must appeal to all stakeholders. That means the students, the teachers and administrators, and the parents. Here's the value proposition, a specific value proposition you can offer that resonate with each group. For students, fun, learning, freebies. Children are your audience, so during the event, make it enjoyable and memorable. Offer interactive oral health presentations that are age appropriate. This could include engaging props, short videos or slides about teeth, and a Q&A time where kids can ask the tooth doctor questions. And then conclude by giving every student a goodie bag: toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, pamphlets, cartoons on dental care, things like that. These branded freebies not only excite kids in the moment, but also serve as a take-home that reminds parents of your practice. And if your budget allows, add fun items like stickers or a small toy from a bulk supplier. And the key message to the student is taking care of your teeth is important and fun. So make it positive. Now for parents, trust, convenience, and health benefits. Parents might not be present during a school talk, so you reach them through what their child brings home via school channels. So emphasize benefits that matter to parents. Here are some benefits: improved health and school performance. Educate that dental issues can cause pain and missed school days. Put facts in there, statistics. In fact, 51 million school hours are lost each year due to dental-related illness. By supporting dental education, the school and your practice help their child stay healthy and in class. Give free resources. Parents love free, useful things. Let them know their child received a free dental care kit and perhaps a brushing calendar or oral health tips sheet to use at home. This positions you as a generous expert, not as a salesperson, someone who wants to help out. Then third thing is introductory offers. It's effective to include a special offer for families as part of your school program. For example, present this card for a free kids dental exam and x-ray, or a discount on cleaning, valid for new patients from that school. Make the offer clear and time limited. For example, it's valid for 3 months. This will prompt action. Parents appreciate the savings and it lowers the barrier to that first appointment. Ensure any promotional material is given in a sealed envelope or via the teacher to send home, in line with the school policy. Finally, convenience and comfort. Show that because you visited the school, you already have a relationship with their child in a comfortable setting. Emphasize that if the child visits the office, they'll already know the dentist who came to their class, reducing fear. For working parents, highlight convenient features of your practice, like extended hours, easy scheduling, online scheduling, insurance assistance, but do this subtly in a handout rather than during the school talk. Okay, so that's for parents. For teachers, curriculum support and classroom supplies. Teachers are protective of instructional time, so you must show that your presence is worthwhile. Align your content with their educational goals. For example, for young grades, tie your talk to a health or science standard. You can even ask the teacher if there are specific topics they want reinforced, like nutrition or how sugar affects teeth, etc. Provide teacher value by offering classroom supplies, perhaps a large model of a tooth or an educational poster for the class, or extra toothbrushes they can use for a science experiments on plaque. Some dentists offer a teacher appreciation perk. That means a certificate for a free whitening or a dental discount for all faculty staff during a certain month. So even a small gesture like bringing coffee and healthy muffins for teachers' lounge on the day of your visit is goodwill. That will do fantastic. So always, every time you're going into these schools, think of the adults. Think of the teachers, especially if you're not a pediatric practice, you are perhaps an orthodontic practice who wants to specialize with kids, but you can also see adults. Or if you're a family practice or general practice, think of the teachers. I can't tell you how many times people do not do that, and that's huge opportunity missed out. The message to teachers is letting them know we're here to help you, not hinder you. We'll handle everything during the presentation, manage the kids, clean up afterwards, and provide materials. So they get it like a brief break, and they can integrate it with the presentation without hassle. For school administrators, enhancing student wellness at no cost. Principals and school administrators care about student outcomes, compliance with school wellness policies, and community engagement. So position your program as helping the school achieve its goal without costing a penny or adding workload. Here are some key points you want to convey. Support student wellness. Oral health is part of overall health. Your program can help reduce nurse visits or absences due to toothaches by preventative education. Next thing, aligns with school health policies. Many schools have wellness policies encouraging community health partnerships. For example, you might reference February, right, as National Children's Dental Health Month, endorsed by the ADA. And you offer to do a program in that month that helps the school participate in this. It makes the school look good. The next point, no cost, minimal disruption. So emphasize the free nature of everything you're providing, your time, the hygiene kits, etc. And then also clarify logistics to alleviate concerns. The presentation can be as short as 20 to 30 minutes. It can be done per class or one assembly, whatever is easier for them. You will handle the setup, cleanup, and need little more than an outlet and some space. In essence, it's a turnkey enrichment activity delivered to them. That's what you want it to look like. And then you can mention optional add-ons. If you're willing, offer additional value like screenings or referrals for kids who might have issues. Some dentists coordinate with school nurses to do brief visual dental checks on kids with parents' permission and send home referral letters for those who need follow-up. This can be a huge help in identifying unrelated dental problems. Now, for PTAs and parent organizations, fundraising and enrichment. Parent-teacher associations are always looking for community partners who can both support the school and offer expertise. So consider these things. You can do fundraising help, offer a win-win fundraiser idea, such as custom dental kits, where a portion of proceeds goes to the PTA, or simply pledge a donation, right? If the PTA helps promote your practice, free exams, or a community dental day, that'd be fantastic. But just make sure it's clear, straightforward, and you go from there. PTAs often hold meetings with guest speakers on topics of child welfare. So volunteer to present to parents on children's dental health, what parents should know. And you might cover how to prevent cavities, truth about sports drinks, tips for the first-time dental visits, things like that. Another thing is you can sponsor a PTA event. You could fund or co-sponsor a family event like a fall festival or a spring carnival. You can donate toothbrushes, small prizes for the carnival games, food, drink station. And then in return, just ask to set up a table with your banner or have a short speaking slot to thank participants and sign people up. And then finally, communications. Ask if you can contribute a dental health column or tip to the PTA's newsletter or the school's parents' newsletter. A short paragraph with seasonal advice. Something like, oh, candy and teeth, 3 tips to protect smiles, right? And so forth. It keeps your name in front of parents regularly, and you can subtly mention your practice at the end. Brought to you by Dr. Smith at Sunny Dental, who's proud to support the school. So by clearly laying out these value propositions for each audience, you create compelling cases that your involvement is a benefit to the school community. When teachers see educational value, parents see concern for their kids, and administration sees a boost to wellness. There's little resistance to inviting your practice in. Now, we could get into the legal and ethical considerations. Working with minors in school setting requires careful attention, right? So you want to understand the school policies. Obviously, you want permission from the principal or district on any campus. They might want to do any possible background checks. If so, definitely let them, right? You want to adhere to all the rules on distributing materials. Many public schools have guidelines on what can be sent home with students, like commercial flyers are most likely frowned upon, right? But educational material with a business logo might be fine. So learn how to work that. And obviously, there's no hard selling, right? Schools are an environment for learning. So your presentation should be informational and not a sales pitch. So avoid language like, come to our office for the best braces in front of the kids. Just provide value in front of the kids. That's it. Give them take-home pamphlets that they can utilize. If you want all the strategies, everything that revolves around ground marketing, you want to learn how to get into apartments, corporations, senior homes, daycare, schools, restaurants, hotels, spas, gyms, every single location you can think of, and we continue to add into it, by the way, this course, then definitely join the ground marketing course. I'm going to put a link to it in the show notes below. You can go ahead and check it out, see everything that you can learn, gain, and at the same time, how it can improve your practice and your life. Not only will you attract new patients immediately, but also you'll be known as the go-to practice in your community. But if you want to learn all that, go in the show notes below, click on the first link in the show notes below. It's the ground marketing course. Go ahead and join it, and I look forward to seeing you in there. Now, there is something called FERPA and student privacy. This is a law, right? Public schools must comply with FERPA, which stands for Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. It protects students' education records and so forth. But how does this affect you? If you're only giving a presentation and general tips, then the FERPA isn't a big concern because you're not accessing any student records. But if you're performing any screening or clinical service at the school, like checking kids' teeth, things like that, any findings you note could be considered part of the student's health record. Those records can't be shared with third parties without written parental consent, except in certain emergencies. So this means if you do identify a cavity or issue, you should provide that information to the parent rather than collecting it for your own follow-up, unless a consent form was signed allowing you to do so, which you're going to see the consent form here pretty soon. In practical terms, just have a simple consent form just in case. Even if you only plan to do a presentation, always have one with you just in case. If you plan to do any screenings, it should explain what you'll do and have the parent authorize sharing the screening results with them and the school. Without parental consent, do not keep personal health data on any child. Now note, HIPAA versus FERPA, right? FERPA. Health information handled with the school by school nurses is governed by the FERPA, not HIPAA in most cases. So the usual HIPAA privacy rule dentist follows for patient records does not directly apply when you are in the school setting because you're not acting as the child's healthcare provider in a clinical sense without a patient's relationship. But you still want to maintain that confidentiality, right? Treat any student information with the same care as you would patient information. Permission slips, you want to work with the school on whether you need a permission slip for the child to participate in your program. No violation of advertising laws, so ensure any promotion you do via schools complies with broader advertising regulations. For example, if you mention a free exam for students, it should truly be free, things like that. Ethical presentation, keep your content age appropriate and inclusive. Do not shame any child for their teeth or habits, right? And definitely avoid showing gruesome photos and so forth. You want to build trust, not fear. And then compliance with giveaways and sponsorship rules. Some schools, especially public schools, cannot endorse a business, so don't put them in an awkward position by asking for explicit endorsements. Instead, you can just say, hey, we're happy to support the school with XYZ, right? And that's it, basically. So, in short, be respectful and aware. Check with school officials if you're unsure about any policy, and they'll see that you truly have the students' well being in mind and are professional and you're easy to work with. So, definitely keep that in mind. And in the ground marketing course, we do have an exact presentation you can utilize. Just literally just put your name in there. That's it. And then boom, you can run with it. It even has exactly what to do, images, pictures, how you can go dressed, all that stuff, what to say. It's in the ground marketing course. Now, you can create partnerships with PTA and school boards. And the way you can do that is you want to work closely with the PTA leaders. And that can be your biggest champion. So you want to attend a PTA meetings. Many are open to community guests, and introduce yourself and your idea to support the school. Propose a specific way to help, such as, hey, our dental office would love to sponsor one of your upcoming events by providing free goodie bags for all the kids. Or, hey, we can give a short presentation at the next family night about kids' oral health. PTA boards often plan months ahead, so getting on their calendar early is key. By aligning with PTA goals, you become a valued business partner rather than an outsider. For instance, if the PTA's big goal is raising money for new playground equipment, you might offer, hey, we can donate towards the new playground. And at the fall festival, we'll also host a tooth toss game booth for free. This way, you visibly support their cause and also get a presence at their event. Many school districts have formal business partnerships. These are sometimes called adopt a school. Essentially, a local business agrees to support a specific school through donations or volunteerism. And in return, it's recognized as an official partner. For example, this is a case study. In Riverside, California, a dental office adopted a high school and provided scholarships to graduating seniors as part of the partnership. Check if your local district or education foundation has such a program. Adopting a school can mean committing to multiple activities over a year, which is perfect. You'll be able to be part of science fairs. You'll provide scholarships if you can. You'll participate in health weeks and so much more. It's a bigger commitment, but it can deeply ingrain your practice into the community. And the school often will acknowledge partners in newsletters, on banners, at a school board's meeting, and it also may give you more direct access. You might get to meet with the principals and other PTAs, the districts, and plan activities, and it becomes an umbrella. It's like a partnership umbrella. It's fantastic. So check to see if there's an adopt a school program. Now, the school board and district support. This is who I think you should always partner up with no matter what. Say you want to impact elementary schools in your town, all elementary schools in your town. Building a relationship at the district level helps. Attend public school board meetings, especially during discussions of community partnerships or student wellness. You can also request to make a brief presentation to the board about your community dental health initiatives. When a board formally recognizes a partnership or program, all schools under that board will hear of it. Another approach is connecting with the district's coordinator of health services or community engagement office, if they have one. So let's say you have a mobile unit or you want to run an annual free clinic day. Well, the district could facilitate scheduling that at different schools each year. One successful tactic some dentists use is to invite school board members or district officials to your events. You can say like, hey, we'd be honored if you'd visited our office on Give Kids a Smile Day to see our community work. This can turn them into advocates for your cause. You can also have mutual promotion. Once you have a partnership, leverage it. Offer to cross-promote the school's events at your office, hang a flyer in the school carnival in your waiting room, and ask that the school reciprocate by mentioning your practice and event programs or on social media and so forth. Build long-term relationships. Be reliable and consistent. If you commit, say, providing prizes for the PTA's quarterly student awards, make sure you follow through each quarter. Consistency builds trust, and you may find schools begin to approach you with invitations once they know you as a dependable partner. Then networking with other school partners. Often you'll meet other businesses, owners, or community leaders in the course of school events. This is where it's like a spider web. It's fantastic. Networking here can open doors. For example, a pediatrician who also sponsors the school might invite you to join a broader children's health fair, or a local sports store sponsoring the football team might collaborate with you on mouthguard events. These connections, facilitated through the school, can amplify your ground marketing into the wider community. So treat partnerships exactly as that, a two-way relationship where you're invested in the school's welfare. Now, let's discuss messaging frameworks for effective school outreach, right? Crafting the right message when reaching out to schools is crucial. You need to be compelling yet concise and adapt your tone for different audiences, administrators, parents, students. Here are some messaging frameworks and tips to maximize your impact. You want to have attention, interest, desire, action. AIDA. That's the classic marketing framework, and it can be applied to your initial outreach communication, like an email, letter to the principal, or however you want to reach out to them, right? In the ground marketing course, we tell you specifically how to reach out to them. You can even walk in if you can. To me, I always prefer in person, right? You're able to read body language better. But this is what you want to keep in mind. AIDA. So let's talk about the first one. Attention. Start with a strong opening that immediately signals relevance. For example, hey, did you know that students across the US miss tens of millions of school hours due to dental issues? Or you can say, hello, I'm Dr. Jane Doe, a local dentist and a proud supporter of our community schools. The goal is to quickly indicate why the school should care. So a surprising fact or a community connection in the first line helps grab attention. And you can definitely dive deeper on this, right? We do have a lot more specifics on this script in the ground marketing course. Now, the next thing is interest. Build interest by explaining what you are proposing in terms that align with the school's need. For example, I would love to help XYZ Elementary kick off a healthy school year by offering a fun, free oral health education session for your students. Note how this is framed. It's about helping the school and their students, not about you seeking patients. Mention any credentials or experience that add credibility. Our practice has done similar programs at local summer camps with great success, and I'm also a parent of 2 young children, so I know how important these lessons can be. So far we discussed attention, interest. Now, desire. Make them want it by detailing the benefits and value. This program would provide tangible benefits. Every child gets a dental care kit or something fun, right? Cavity club kit, hygiene kit to take home. We cover topics that reinforce the health curriculum, like nutrition and brushing techniques, and it requires no expense or heavy lifting from your staff. We handle everything. You can also subtly indicate the positive outcomes. It's been shown that schools that emphasize dental health see fewer tooth-related absences, and we all want our kids in class learning. If you have a testimonial or a reference from another school, that's a great place to put it in right here. Last year at Bright Beginnings Preschool, teachers noted the kids were excited to brush and parents gave very positive feedback. And then you can put social proof even in there. Social proof can create desire by assuring them this is a tried and true idea. So that's the desire, right? If you have proof, even better. Definitely put that in there. This is your first time, use the script that we said right before, right? About, it's been shown that schools that emphasize dental health see fewer toothache related absences and so forth. So now we discussed that, right? Attention, interest, desire, and now action. Finish with the clear call to action. I'd love to discuss this with you or the appropriate person. Would you be open to a 10-minute chat next week to plan a possible dental health event at your school? I'll follow up with a call on Tuesday, so make it easy for them to respond. You might provide your phone and email and indicate you'll proactively reach out. The action could also be inviting them to give you a date. Something like, we have openings in our schedule to visit on Fridays in October. Let me know if one of those dates might work for you. Be specific. It helps move from the idea to the scheduling. So first thing with the messaging framework, number 1, AIDA. Number 2, emphasize we and community. In all messaging, use inclusive languages. It's not I want to promote my business. It's we, you and the school, want to work together to improve children's health. Here's an example. At Little Smiles Dental, we're part of this community. We want to partner with Lincoln School to keep our kids healthy and smiling. Mention the school's name, make it personalized. Administrators should feel this is a custom offer for their school, not a mass mailing you sent everywhere. Even if you did send versions to multiple schools, still. If you have any personal tie, leverage it. For example, as an alumni of this school district or as a neighbor, our office is just 2 miles away from your school. And then continue with the rest of the script. Personalize it. Honestly, I would do that with every single school. Mention how far you are. Hey, we're just 5 miles away from you. Hey, we're just 2 miles away from you. That super personalizes it. So that's number 2, what you want to do. Emphasize we and community. 3, solution-oriented messaging. Position your practice as solving a problem or fulfilling a need for the school. The problem: kids get cavities, miss school. Maybe parents aren't all taking them to the dentist due to access or awareness. The solution: we can help by bringing dental education and preventative resources directly to your students. This framework can be used in talking points during a meeting. Here's an example. One challenge many schools face is students with tooth pain. Our solution is a preventative approach, education, and early identification. If we can teach kids proper care and help connect families to a dental home, we together prevent those lost school days and improve kids' well-being. This kind of narrative resonates with educators, so they'll love it. So that's number 3, solution-oriented messaging. Number 4, use emotion and storytelling. Facts are good, but stories stick. Maybe open your school assembly by sharing a quick relatable story, right? So let's just say you're actually at the thing. You say, when I was in 2nd grade, I was afraid of the dentist until a dentist visited our class and taught us using a puppet. That day changed how I felt, and that's part of why I became a dentist. For parent audiences, a story of a child who overcame dental issues can inspire action. One of my young patients was missing school frequently due to dental pain. We turned that around, and her grades went up once she was pain-free. That's the power of a healthy smile. Just like that. Keep the stories true and short, but they help humanize your message. Number 5, clarity for conversions. When messaging to convert the exposure into appointments, clarity is king. If you offer a free exam coupon in a letter to parents, clearly state what's included and how to redeem. For example, call our office at 555-1234 and mention Lincoln Elementary to schedule your child's free back-to-school dental exam. That's exam and x-rays at no cost for new patients, valid until December 31st. You want to use bold text and the offer and any deadline. Also mention any time limits, right? New patients only up to age 14, and to avoid confusion, do that. This prevents any misunderstanding and makes it easy for parents to take action. Do the same thing with Facebook posts, just any social media posts and so forth. Just include the direct link and a trackable phone number. Remember, CallRail helps with this. So if you need exact analytics on where everything's coming from, what's not working, maybe, okay, you know what, I've been posting it on Facebook. Obviously, it's not working on Facebook, but somehow it's working all over Instagram. CallRail can tell you that, right? There's going to be a link in the show notes below for CallRail. Remember, you can get 14 days for free with CallRail. They're fantastic at making sure you know exactly where all your leads are coming from and how to improve that too as well. Anyways, that's clarity for conversions. 6, acknowledge and address barriers. Anticipate what might hold someone back and address it in your message. For schools, a barrier might be, this sounds like extra work. So just say you'll handle everything. For parents, a barrier might be, we don't have dental insurance. So in your flyer, you can note, we happily see patients with or without insurance. Ask about our affordable options. Keep this in mind. Acknowledge and address barriers. 7 is tone and reading level. For school officials, be professional, clear, and positive. They're busy, so a well-structured, bullet-pointed proposal can work wonders. For communications that go to parents, use a friendly, approachable tone. Avoid dental jargon. Use simple terms. Also, provide any Spanish or other language translations if your community is diverse. Or offer that you have staff who speak that language, included in the messaging. And then for students, when you speak at the school, be energetic and fun, get on their level, and use repetition of key slogans. For example, what are the 2 times a day we brush? Morning and night. Say it with me, right? You just make sure it's repetitive. And then 8, finally, consistency with branding. While the message focus is on community and health, it's okay to ensure practice, name, and brand are clearly presented. Have simple taglines in your materials like Bright Smile Dental, caring for our community's kids. It ties your brand to the community care concept. So, in summary, effective messaging for school marketing combines value-driven content with a community-focused tone. Clear call to action and adaptation to the audience. It's about communicating. We're here to help, and here's how to take us up on it. That's what you're saying in the most inviting way possible. When done right, your outreach messages will not only open the school doors for you, but also motivate parents and students to engage with your practice. Now, in the course, I'm going to provide the case studies. We do have quite a bit of case studies on this and real world examples. Annual school dental screenings in Virginia. It's also going to be Adopt a School Dentist in California, how we discussed their Riverside dental practice, how they did that. That's going to be in the course as well. Also, high school sports dentistry in Oregon, pediatric dentist preschool outreach in Texas. These are all case studies. that are going to be in the course that you can definitely check out and look into as well. But finally, what I wanted to just really quick touch on is tracking ROI and converting leads from schools, right? Like always, you want to set measurable goals. Before each initiative, define what metrics matter to you. Is it the number of new patient appointments directly resulting from the event, the number of contacts collected, increased brand awareness, right? For example, if you do a school presentation for 100 kids and you aim to sign up 10 new patients from it, that's a 10% conversion goal. So having a target will help you evaluate ROI later. So have measurable goals, use unique offer codes, right? Like their school name. Hey, mention your school name and then you'll get this specific deal, right? Capture leads on site and do that as much as you possibly can. Follow up fast. Speed matters. Follow up with the families while the memory is fresh. A friendly phone call or email works. Let me give you an example. Hi, this is Sarah from Bright Dental. It was great meeting you at Lincoln Elementary Science Night. We hope Johnny enjoyed the dental kit. I wanted to remind you of the free exam offer we have for Lincoln families. Would you like to schedule an appointment for Johnny today or would this day work? We also have openings next week. And then just continue, right? You want to get them on the spot. And then finally, train your front desk. Make sure your reception staff, your front office, they know about each school campaign and they're prepared to handle those inquiries, right? If parents call saying, hey, I got this flyer from the school, the staff should immediately recognize it. And they should know the specifics of the offer to smoothly convert the call to an appointment. And then monitor and analyze your ROI. Now, this is something that CallRail can help with, or your practice management software, right? For example, how many new patients did we get from this school? How much did we spend on that campaign? What is the value of those new patients? And also track non-tangible outcomes, right? Like website traffic jumps on school events and so forth. And leverage all your success stories in your marketing. If one school was fantastic, cool, boom. Now you're going to put some of that in your next email to the next school. Boom, those two schools were fantastic. Now you're going to put some of those two schools to the next third school in the email, right? And continue that way. Leverage as much as you can and share it as much as you can on social media with consent, right? Especially if children are involved. Nurture the leads who don't convert immediately, right? Not every contact will call you back or schedule right away. So keep a list of those who expressed interest but never booked. You might send a polite reminder a few weeks later. Hey, we hope you enjoyed our dental day at school. Just a friendly reminder, our free exam offer at Lincoln Elementary Families is open until the end of the semester. We care about your child's dental health, so please let us know if we can assist you. And then continue. Even after the offer expires, keep those leads in a general newsletter list and try again later on. And then you want to calculate the long-term payoff, right? As you track it, see how it's working, and then solicit feedback from schools as well. And that's going to do it for this episode. If you are interested in knowing exactly how to get into schools, from the moment you're like, hey, I found schools in my community, I know there's schools in my community, how do I get in there? To the moment to where, hey, they're in my practice, they're my patients now. Let's go to another school and do the exact same thing and build and leverage. Just like we talked about here, we go into granular detail on the scripts in the ground marketing course. So if you're not a member of the ground marketing course, please enroll. It's going to be in the show notes below. I'd love to see you in there. We do live ground marketing workshops like this all the time, where you're able to talk to me more one-on-one. And at the same time, you're able to see in depth, in detail, all the scripts and so forth. But this episode was jam-packed. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it helped out. Please utilize the scripts, the frameworks. Now you know who to approach, who to talk to. So start making this happen right now. Okay. And in our next episode, we're going to be discussing maximizing your presence at farmers markets. Exciting stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next episode.